Hey everybody, John McDaniel here, owner of A Better Companion Dog Training. I'm here with my buddy Shadow, and I do real world training. I train family pets, so the style of training that I'm doing in these videos is not competition healing, not competition sit stays and things like that. It's for family pets, all right? Now, what I want to work on in this video right here, I want to show you how you can still have a professional heel and a professional stay, sit and stay next to you facing the same way like you should. Even though it's not competition style, it still needs to look professional. It can still look good, all right? So now, what I have here is I have Shadow, and I'm going to use this hallway. I'm going to use these walls right here. It's a rainy day out, so I just want to take a few minutes to share this video with you. And so what you can do, if you have hallways like this, if you don't have any hallways in your house, you can use the side of your house, you can use a fence. If you're outside, you can use a car, you can use anything, any kind of a barrier that'll teach your dog to sit and stay right next to you facing the same way. So a lot of you have problems with your dogs that sitting crooked, they stop and they sit over here in front of you, or they sit over here, maybe they're looking at a dog over here and they're sitting sideways and everything. So this will help you to really tighten up your sit stays and get the dog to sit and stay right next to you, as you see Shadow is here. So again, use barriers like a hallway or the side of your house outside or a fence line or a car or anything you can, any kind of a barrier to really force the dog to have to sit right next to you, and then you can start doing it out, okay? So I want to show you how to do that. Now remember that when we do healing, we are keeping the dog on the left-hand side. That's the way I do healing. I know some people do it different ways, but it's just kind of standard within the industry to work on the left-hand side. And again, I work with family pets. So I want to keep the dog on the left-hand side. I'm going to step off my left foot. I'm going to say the word heel one time. Heel just simply means walk at my heel. Basically, walk next to me. All right? So if I have a little tiny dog, I give them a little leeway. If I have a big dog like Shadow, medium-sized dog, or a large breed dog, and you really want them right next to you. Okay? So now I'm going to step off my left foot. I'm going to say the word heel one time, and then I'm going to step off and I'm going to go. So let me show you how that works. Again, I'm going to use this wall as a barrier to really get Shadow to sit right next to me, facing the same way. It's going to look a lot more professional. It's going to be a whole lot better for your family and friends to see that, all right? So here it goes. Left foot, heel. Good. And immediate praise as soon as he steps off. Good. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Very good boy. Now, when I stop, I'm going to... Good. Very good. Wait to see what he does. Shadow is already at the level now where he sits automatically, okay? Now, if your dog did not sit automatically, he's not at this level, you haven't worked the dog enough, you would just simply lift up on the leash, give a little leash pressure. The dog is going to be guided back into that sitting position. If you need to, you can also push down on the hindquarters. I'll show you that just so you can see how it works, but you want to get to the point where your dog will automatically sit. When I walk up to somebody on the street, and again, I'm dealing with family pets, I'm dealing with people who are walking around in their neighborhoods, downtown areas, things like that. So when I walk up and start talking to somebody, I want to be able to talk to that person, not have to really communicate with my dog. This should all become automatic. The footwork says that I'm going to walk now when I step off on that left foot. When I stop, it's an automatic command for the dog to sit down. If the dog wants to lay down, that's fine as well. We don't care. The dog is comfortable. You're trying to have a conversation with your neighbor, or you're at a farmer's market, want to talk about their products, or whatever you're doing. So again, I'm training family pets out here in the real world. But you want to get the dog to the point where he eventually sits down. But let's say your dog doesn't do that. How would I do that? I'll show you on the next trick, okay? Heel. So step off your left foot. Say the word heel one time. Good boy. Very good boy. Your dog should be walking either beside you, slightly behind you is okay, but not in front of you. All right? Now, let's say your dog didn't sit. When I stop, I'm going to lift up. I'm going to push down. Sit. Good. Very good. And again, immediate praise. So go ahead and mark that and let your dog know that they're doing a good job. You want a quick response from your dog. Because again, you're trying to talk to your neighbor, you're going to the next booth at the farmer's market, whatever you're doing. Okay? So lift up and push down and say the word sit one time. One of the mistakes that a lot of people make, especially out here dealing with family pets and everything, is they want to repeat the commands. They say sit, 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 and the dog is not sitting, and so they repeat it themselves, and the dog learns that when you're speaking, it's not really important to listen to you. So we want to get dogs that listen on the first command, whether that be healing, going to their place, sitting, laying down, coming when they call, whatever the command may be. Okay? Good boy. Very good boy. That's our good puppy. Yes. So again, let me show you how that works. I'm using this wall as a barrier to really get that sit stay facing the same way. So I'm going to step off my left foot. I'm going to say the word heel one time, and off I go. Now, as soon as he steps off with me, I'm going to go ahead and reward him. If he didn't, I would give him a correction, tell him to pick up the pace and come with me. But I'm going to go ahead and step off my left foot one time. I'm going to say the word heel. Heel. Good. Very good. Since he stepped off with me, I'm going to give him that praise. We want training to be fun. We don't want our dogs to despise training. It should not be feel like they're getting jerked around and yelled at. Everything. It should be fun for the dogs. So I'm going to stop. Good. Very, very good. And as soon as he sits, he gets that praise. Again, Shadow's at the level now where he's sitting automatically. But if he doesn't, just go back to what I just showed you. Lift up, push down. Okay? Now, typically when you stop and talk to somebody out in the street, a neighbor, somebody at the farmer's market, things like that, you may not be stepping away from your dog. If I just want to stop, look both ways before crossing the street, that kind of thing, I'm going to stay right next to my dog. But what happens if I want to step away from my dog? How does my dog know that my dog should stay there while I'm moving around? Because I start moving, they're going to want to match my energy and they're going to want to follow me. So there are times when you want your dog to be right next to you. There's going to be other times when you don't. Times like that would be when I'm putting the dog's food down. I make my dog sit and stay. I would step off, I put the food down, then I release my dog to get the food. Or I'm going through a doorway. I always teach dogs how to sit and stay at doorways. I go out first, and then the dog is released and allowed to go outside. Same thing coming back in. I would do that everywhere. I got a video on here about that. Also, I may be just reaching in my car to get something, things like that. So when I want to step off and tell my dog to stay there while I'm moving around, I step off my right foot. So remember, left foot to heel, right foot to stay. Really important, because eventually the dog's going to pick up on your body language. Without even saying a word verbally to your dog, they're going to know whether they should stay or move based on what you say. All right? And again, I may be working with deaf dogs. So I'm out here dealing with family pets, and some of the dogs I deal with are deaf, and they need to have that verbal, that body language. Okay, they can't hear the verbal cues. So I'm going to step off my right foot. And the best way to remember that little left foot, right foot rule is step in front of your dog just like this. If I try and do that with my left foot first, it's a very unnatural position. I'm going to end up twisting my knee. So right foot first, and then you can always back up. Once you get that left foot, right foot rule down, then you can step off this way. You can step off to the behind, beside the dog, off to the right, whatever. Okay? So now again, I want to step off my left foot. I want to tell the dog to heel one time. I'm going to show you this how it goes one more time. Heel. Good. And immediate praise when he gets up. Good boy. Yes. Very good boy. That's our good puppy. Very, very good. All right. And then again, I'm going to stop. And my dog should sit. Good. Very, very good. Now, be careful, because a lot of mistakes that other people make, and again, out here, dealing with family pets and everything, we're not professional dog trainers that I'm working with. These are ordinary people. And so one of the mistakes they make is they're always giving a cue with the leash. So they're telling the dog to heel, and then they step off and they jerk the leash. Or they're telling the dog to sit, and they're giving the dog a correction. They're pulling back already. And the dog's getting a correction, hadn't even done anything wrong yet. So be careful. Make sure there's no leash pressure here at all. If you want to get your dog eventually off-leash trained, you can't get the dog in the habit of constantly having leash pressure. Otherwise, they're not going to listen. Okay? So when you step off, there's no leash pressure. When you sit, there's no leash pressure. The only time I would do that is if I needed to guide the dog into the sitting position. Okay? But once your dog gets and understands what the word sit means, it means to sit down, then you don't want to go sit and then jerk the collar while you're giving the command. Okay? So I hope this video helps. Be sure that if it does, to give us a like. And then don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm going to be adding a lot more videos here in the future. I hope this helps. Have a great day.